playing a meta gauntlet at X2. Hold on, bro. Let me crash out real quick. Bro. 5 games today. BY, Zuro, Lucci, Bonnie. At X2, X1 playing Lucci. Okay, whatever. X2 playing Bonnie. Yeah, we deserve it. Bonnies are right down there in X2. Well, meanwhile, putting in the nails, bro. Undefeated. X0. What's really going on? I just suck. I just suck. All right, bro. Yeah, I'll be right back. All right, game 1, Lim versus Usopp. We're gonna go first. We always want to curve first. We can keep this hand. Ideally, we want like 1 cost Lim in our opening hand, but Sabo into another 5-drop feels okay. It's unfortunate because they'll probably be able to trade with whatever body they play on their 4-down turn since they have stage, but it's just 1k counter if they do develop something. So he drew Cavendish and Kyros off the Leo, meaning he'll probably be able to trade that Cavendish into my Sabo, but we're gonna poke 5. They're gonna take, gonna use leader ability, gain a Dawn, play the Sabo out, and then it's just 1k counter to protect this if they play that Cavendish. There's that Cavendish. We're probably gonna give them the Enel, or we can give a 2k here just so that we have more bodies to play. Yeah, because they're gonna swing 5 into life anyway. Yeah. Now we have 3 cost Lim and 1 cost Lim. However, it's a little too late to play her since we want to play a 3-drop and a 5-drop here. And then ideally we want to play them both so that we can get the draw off of Sabo's effect. Probably take another. You can take either a Dofi or a Sabo. Yeah, I think this turn we're gonna end up playing the Dofi, just because it's a body that can untap itself. It's also a blocker. Swing 5. They're gonna give me a 2k. I'm gonna use leader ability. Play the Dofi. Swing 6 into life with the Sabo. Draw a card. All right, and end of turn, Lim and then Dofi are gonna happen. We're gonna do Lim first because she requires 3 characters to be rested, so she can untap, and then Dofi second because he only requires 2 rested characters to untap. One very important thing about the rested character requirement for Lim is that, or a lot of her units, is that they are self-including, meaning that if it says it requires 2 or more rested bodies, you need 1 rested body and then the unit you're going to on play. Anyway, my opponent red rocked my blocker, guess just so that I don't get the free block here. I think they should have red rocked my Sabo if they were gonna red rock anything. You know, it's the value engine that's gonna keep drawing me cards. Right now we have this Sakazuki, and then he reads if you have 2 or more rested KO of 5. And then like I was just saying, you only need the 1 other rested unit and then Sokka himself. I think we're on 9 Dawn, meaning we can play Sokka in another 5-drop here. Exactly. So yeah, we rest the Lim, play Sokka, rest the Sabo, draw a card. Swing 5. Okay, I guess we play a 5-drop first. And then swing 5 at him. Yeah, and then if my opponent has Gravity Blade, now would be a great time to rip it. However, if they're gonna rip the Gravity Blade, then that's their whole turn. And I'll still have 2 units up on them. So like with right now where everyone projecting that like we're gonna get less like black decks, namely less Lucci in the format, that's why Lim is so poised to do well. We should counter this because my opponent is like, we want to keep up our board presence on them and keep spamming units. Plus my hand isn't too bad. I can keep up the pressure. I don't think we take here. We still want to maintain a healthy life. And then just pressure our opponent here. But yeah, like I was saying, well, like less Lucci, supposedly. We could Lim now gets a chance because she can maintain board, because a lot of decks don't have low to the ground removal readily available. Aside from like maybe Shanks or Marco or what have you. I just have to see how Lim does against aggro decks like Betty and Zuro. Also how she would do against somebody like Newgate. It's very, very interesting. Very interesting times we're in. Yeah, swing 7, 7. Attach one more Don Usopp, another 7. And then yeah, he has counter for the swings, but he just doesn't have enough counter for all of the swings. He kind of bricked. He didn't see Rebecca. Unfortunate for him. Especially I also was able to take first to take him off of his 7 Don curve. So it feels good. Yeah, we just kind of did Lim things that game. And then I move on to the next game. All right, next game is up against Piss Kid. They took first away from us, but we do have our 1 Don Lim, and then we also have a Sabo, so it's kind of an ideal open here. Unfortunately, like Kid, we get punished by their 5-drop Nami. However, like we just have to play to our curve. Like there's no like line in which we would play differently. They're thinking on their mulligan. Yeah, so we're just gonna play Lim Pass, untap herself. This Lim is such a good card because she also says that if she were to be removed, you can tap one of your other Odyssey characters. Just so that she isn't just like a casualty of war to any like 4-cost Lucci shenanigans. Yeah, my opponent swings 5. They play the Apu. I don't know what 3-drops that deck has, but we'll just take anyway. They're also off their even curve. Okay, they're gonna play X-Drake, sure. I guess just to get a body on board. They didn't use leader ability. I think I can Newgate here instead of playing Sabo, which might be a mistake, but it's also pretty high tempo. We're gonna swing 6 at lead first. I don't think we should Newgate here. What Newgate does is that if you have 2 or more rested, you tap a 5, and then you can KO a rested 3 or less. The reason why I didn't want to play the Newgate was because I would have to tap my Lim. And if I tap my Lim, then I have to choose one thing to untap with Lim. So I'd rather just play the Sabo and then get some card advantage. Force the removal on my opponent's side. You're going to swing 6 at me with the X-Drake, so it's probably 6-7. I don't have a 2K in hand. This deck also feels like randomly we just don't have 2Ks. I don't know why. We're going to take both. Go down pretty low here. Now they're going to activate blocker. Now is a good time to Newgate. Right? It's so weird sequencing with this deck. We can play Lim to get 1 rested body. Then we can Newgate. Yeah, take a 2K. Yeah. It's such a good feeling drawing Lim on your 3rd turn. Because she facilitates your play so well. It's also why I added in the 3-drop Rosinante blocker too, just so that he's another 3-drop body I can play. He also untaps himself too. Anyway, their Eroge, or not their Eroge, their Apu blockers turned off. They're taking that life. We have bodies on board. We drew a card off of Sabo. We can go down to 0 next turn as well because we have 8-drop Kid. One thing about this deck, since all your units come in rested, 8-drop Kid will come in rested, meaning you can't use his effect to play a 3-drop or less body because he needs to rest himself to do that. I had to learn that the hard way in one of my games, and it's a very interesting decision putting Kid in this deck. I think there are a lot of other just better 8-cost Kid decks in the meta. So yeah, we're gonna take, because we're playing around the ACOS Kid game plan, he's gonna heal with Law. A little bit of a miss sequence. He could have was able to swing 6 into me, but I was gonna take anyway. And then he used his leader ability. We have like 4 units on board. We know his top life isn't a KO trigger, so we're pretty free to just swing at him. I'm planning out Dawn. I'm just gonna do like bear swings, like 5, 6, 7, like 5, 5, 6, 7. Play Kid. Yeah, my opponent takes the 5K. We hit him with a 6K swing. They have another Law in hand. We're gonna block that. Swing 7 to play around the KO trigger. And swing the 5. Crazy thing is, I think we only have 3 2Ks in hand. So this kid is like, we got some protection, but it's gonna be a little wicked. My opponent also has like that Alpu blocker active too. Yeah, there it is. Now it's gone. All right, we're gonna play the kid, attach the Dawn to him. I think this is where I realized that he comes in rested. And I'm just like, oh, bro. Oh, no. Yep. You can see my little existential crisis there. But it's okay. We have 3 2Ks and then a whole bunch of 1Ks to protect them. Oh, shout out D. Yeah, I was streaming this game and I was like crashing out in chat. I was like, oh yeah, bro. I didn't even know. Why are they laughing at me, bro? It's a common mistake. Need to get off my body. So 11K at Kid. This is just 2K, 2K. That was what, 2 Dawn. My opponent has 7 Dawn, so like 12K at Kid. Law. Once again, they're being a little Dawn inefficient because they could have given, I think they could have given 1 Dawn to that 7 cost Law. I don't know how that card reads exactly, if it can give rested Dawn to any Supernova or just Supernova leaders. So they have 8 cost Kid in life. They're not really getting that lucky with the healing cards, because they've been brick so far. So we have audio. One of the reasons why you play 8 cost Kid in this deck is because audio is a free 2K with 1 Dawn active, meaning now we have 2 Dawn to play out our turn. So it's probably just like 5, 5, 7, 7, 9. We know that first life isn't a KO trigger. And then we can swing with Sabo next, because now we have the 2 other bodies rested for the 3 total that we'll need for him to draw. My opponent's thinking on this 5K swing. They took. I should swing with the Sabo here, not the Newgate. I should swing with the Sabo here, not my leader. Because if they take this for some reason and it's a trigger and I miss out on my draw, I'm going to be sad. So they give me a 2K for that 5K swing. I'm going to Sabo, draw into another card. It's a 2K. We now have like 3 2Ks in hand. So they block the 7K. We swing another 7K. They take. Oh, I threw on they're on the sponsored ad segment on my stream. Shout out my Twitter, OPTCG too. Up a follow. Anyway, my opponent goes down to 0 here. I have 1 Don up. I have 4 2Ks in hand. Or 3 2Ks in hand. Feeling good. My opponent would have to heal and find a way to like swing into my kid, but I just have too much counter. So they have to like heal, play a blocker. They either have to like heal and play a blocker, or like kill my kid and play blockers. Yeah, so it's just audio, 2K, 1K. Yeah. Now this is just 2Ks and a 1K. I think I give like 2 1Ks here, a 2K and 2 1K, so I can keep the Uso Hachi. Yeah, I'm counting. Yeah. I gave the extra counter just so that I can tap his blocker. Because it looks like he's planning on playing a blocker now. And if he wasn't playing a blocker, he was going to swing 9 into kid. And then the 2K saves it regardless. So yeah. Before we commit any Don, let's hit him. Let's threaten him with a 9. Nines are good numbers. They require 3 cards. He has like 8 in hand, 7 in hand. Do another 9. He blocks. Makes me think he doesn't have counter. I think we just play this Uso Hachi over the limb. Because like we just value like the infinite, and then yeah, he has no cards in hand. Send him a GG's. We go next. Alright, last game I got for you guys today is gonna be against Blackbeard. I think they choose to go first this game. Gotta wait to see the Don. This hand we have Lim and we have Sabo. I think we keep. Yeah. Yeah, so my opponent did go first. We can play double Lim here. Yeah, we do. But my thumbnails are kind of gassed. Let's take a moment to appreciate my thumbnails, guys. Yeah, so my opponent uses Black Hole on that turn, swings 8 at me, discarding Liberation. Alright, yeah, let's just swing 6 Sabo here. Good old Lim gaming. My opponent takes, no trigger, use leader ability, gain a Don. Play Sabo, untap that Sabo, call it a day. Like, unironically, I know this is a time in which like we can celebrate not having to play against removal leaders, but it's also a time where like you are kind of gonna get rewarded if you can play a pretty decent removal leader. Anyway, my opponent swings 8 at me again, plays a Vasco shot. We have a 3-drop Lim. If anything, maybe we should play another Sabo. I'm thinking about like Liberation here, getting punished by Liberation. Because we have multiple Lims, I don't mind tapping one just to fulfill the Sabo effect. Counting my opponent's Don, they're going to be at 7 next turn. I was thinking about something weird here, like a way to play around liberation. But I was just like, yo, it doesn't matter. So Lim, because she requires 3, untap Sabo. I think we should untap the Sabo here again. The other Lim is kind of served a purpose, but yeah. I feel like we should untap the Sabo here, because then he would have been incentivized to trade into a Lim, thus taking pressure off of me. Yeah, he nullified the 5-drop Sabo. Played Lafitte. So he black holed Sabo. Probably misclicked or just didn't know Sabo was a 5 cost for some reason. Swing 6 at me. I don't want to go down to low life against this deck. Yeah, we're at 10 Dawn. We got Zoro. My opponent's at 7. They're gonna be at 9 next turn. One of the reasons that we play this deck is Ice Age is banned, so there isn't really easy ways to remove 9-drop Zoro. Yeah, I'm gonna swing 7 Sabo, draw a card, pray no finger pistol. They hit a This Is My Era, and they searched Van Auger. Swing 6, draw another card. Swing 5 at him. They just played the Zoro. We should jam the Zoro over the rested Lim. We should jam the Zoro over the rested Lim, not the 3-cost Lim. We need bodies to kill him with. Yeah, good job. Also, my apologies for the banner here. It's guarding like the chat log or whatever, but I just usually have that on stream. In case my opponent's like being a weenie. Being a lame person, they want to like slur those slurs at me. Yeah, I recorded some of these games while I was streaming, twitch.tv/darkshowTCG. I usually stream Tuesdays around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or Sundays as well in the evening around the same time, 8 p.m. or 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. Alright, so what did they do? They did Black Hole on the Lim, played Burgess. I mean, we just have Zoro on board, right? Like we just poke him. We don't even care about the draw, but I guess we're just gonna start with this Zoro. It kind of doesn't matter how we choose to sequence this turn. But yeah, let's poke him for 2Ks. Yeah, he had a 1 cannon he took. Yeah. 9. Yeah. And that's gonna be it. Yeah. Yeah, and then this is like the final deck list that we ran today. This is the one without the 8-drop kid. I didn't really like the idea of 8-drop kid in this deck because I feel like if you're gonna play an 8-cost kid deck, you should just play Bonnie or Smoker, which have their own strengths. Green is pretty up right now because black is supposedly down. Allegedly, it's down. I like Lim. I think she's a cool off-meta leader. She's a lot of people's favorites. There was one that was like 4-0 at Dallas Regionals. I don't know what they ended on, but they went through a decent amount of bracket undefeated, and then they lost like a BY on stream. But I think that person had a lot of courage to take this deck. Now I don't think you need as much courage just because the deck is actually pretty competent. It swarms the board well. It ramps up to 9-cost Zoro. It's pretty annoying to deal with now that we have cards like 1-cost Lim to untap your bodies that you play out, because that was the biggest problem with this deck, is that all of your bodies play rested, meaning that your opponent just had free reign to trade into your bodies, and then your hand would just bleed dry. But now your bodies get untapped by this Lim. Delphi untaps himself, Rosie untaps himself, Mihawk untaps another. You know, it's not just you're at the mercy of your opponent. Now you have a little bit more agency, and you can remove one of the weaknesses of your leader, because that's the main weakness of this leader, is the fact that your body's coming rested. So being able to circumvent that pays dividends, and I think moving forward you're gonna see a decent amount of this leader until like the Lucci list gets solved. God forbid, but there are people cooking. Anyway, that's gonna be it for me today, guys. Y'all have a good one. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what your OP10 post ban leader is. This is just one of the leaders I have cooking right now. There'll definitely be more videos out. It's exciting times. Peace, guys.